How you doing, guys? Professor EDC with another BLADE-OSOPHY video. This time around, I want to talk about how to validate our experience with knives. And this is something that is being done by primarily Alchemy One, Clint from Alchemy One, by Gerald from Outpost 76, supersteelsteve, and well, many other people. But especially this group that I'm talking about, I've been following them for quite a long time, and all that they have done, all the testing, and all their, if not all, most of their videos, and I just couldn't agree more with what they're doing, and that is validating our own experience with knives, and not just do or listen or follow to what many YouTubers, many of us are saying, but to put it in practice, you know? But for that, there is also a process, a formula, I think, to reach better results. And that has to do with the way we live. And in order for us to find out what our experience tells us, how long have we had the knife? Under what circumstances have we used it? What were our first impressions when we first had it in hand? And how have these impressions evolved? How have they changed for good and bad? Do we still get excited and hyped up when we get the knife in hand again and when we use it again? Because there are blades that, you know, it was just the hype, and we really don't get that emotion, that excitement again after the first week or so that we use it, right? I mean, that's happened to me. I should assume that I'm not the only one. And why do we keep some blades around? Is it just pure attachment, or is it because we are convinced, because of our experience and many other things, that it's a good knife, that it's a good tool? And if so, how honest am I with myself? And for that, well, do I have rules to live by? Rules to follow? What do I believe in? Yeah, all of these things come into the table right here with the blades. Can I distinguish truth from lie, relativity from objectivity? Can I distinguish a good knife from a bad knife? And what's going to determine that? And that's, you know, realizing that there are things that are relative, but there are things that are objective. And this is a big problem nowadays, that we are confusing objective, hard data with opinions and relativity. And that has gotten us into big problems. So in the roots, or basically, what is truth? Well, it's a matchup with reality. Truth is a matchup with reality, and a reality makes something true. So it's not just opinions, you know, there are facts and shared common facts. And what we have to do is match up our experience with others' experience. I think when we talk about steels, when we talk about quality and many of the things and pricing and prices, this is very important because it comes to mind this very important phrase for my North American friends that goes, it's we the people. Exactly, that's right. We the people. It's not we the companies or we the brands. It's we the people. It's we, our experience, and realizing what I'm doing wrong and how can I do to improve, to get better, and to buy something or not to buy it. It's a lot of thoughts coming in this blender that I'm talking about right now. But it has to do with how do you prove the worth of a blade or of anything at that point. And well, I think it's by using it and enjoying it and being honest about it. I mean, we take into consideration materials, design, and the brand, the processes, and all that. But in the end, we decide if it was or wasn't worth it, right? And in that path, we discover answers to quality and pricing, I think. How? By following this path. By being honest, by questioning ourselves, by comparing our data or our data with others' data. Hopefully honest and sincere people. Because remember, and this is I love this phrase from the Spider-Man comics, with great power comes great responsibility. But it's not just that. Let's land this and try to see it more down to earth. With power, any power, comes responsibility. With freedom comes responsibility. We don't just get power, we don't just get freedom. They are the same coin, but different sides of it. Responsibility is the other side. With honesty comes responsibility. You know, it's not just a matter of this. I've heard many talk about the freedom of speech, and they blur out whatever they want, and they don't even care about hurting other people. And I don't care what anybody says. That's a wrong way to use that freedom. Because responsibility is not in the mix. And I'm not talking about, being nice guys or this nice guy, or this, how do you say this that's going on right now, that politeness. Of course, I believe in being a polite person, an educated person. But I do believe that there are things that must be said and done, but with responsibility, not messing up other people because I want to speak my truth. That's BS. That's just BS. And that's, a person that hasn't thought out very well the consequences of their actions. As another example is, with love comes responsibility. We cannot talk about love without talking about responsibility in a relationship. And if we continue, just fill in the blank with what comes responsibility, and with most of the things. But that is something that we are losing. Being responsible, that is something that our grandfathers, our forefathers fought for and taught us, and we are losing that. You see, a knife is a very honest thing. It cuts. Yeah, it can do other things. But that's its purpose, right? It cuts. There's not much to it. And I'm going to leave it at that, but I do want to read a few quotes from a few people. Some that surprised me and some that I respect very much. And it has to do with what I'm saying, what Outpost 76 is saying, and what Alchemy 1 is saying, and supersteelsteve, and all that group. And that is, here we go with the quotes. First is by Patrick Ness, a writer. And he says, "A knife is only as good as the one who wields it. Ain't that a beauty? Ain't that a beauty?" That's just, leaves me speechless. It has a purpose, right? To cut. How to cut, what to cut, how to use the tool, that is entirely up to us. And next one. There never was a good knife made of bad steel. Benjamin Franklin. How about that? There's many things going around with this poor steels or the poor heat treatment or, not fulfilling what they are selling. And I think Benjamin Franklin just says it quite simple, in a simple way and in an honest way. Morse Kohansky, "A well-trained person needs only a knife to survive." Again, this honesty, this straightforwardness, and with responsibility, they are not hurting anyone. They are saying it in such a brilliant way. One that surprised me, Katharine Hepburn. "A sharp knife cuts the quickest and hurts the least." So true in so many aspects. And that's another invitation to, in a simple and superficial way, for us to learn how to sharpen our knives, learn how to sharpen our minds, and prove that steel and prove that knife. Abraham Lincoln, "If I get 8 hours to cut a tree, I'll spend 7 hours to sharpen my knife." Again, knowledge, experience. That's how we validate our experience. And the last one, by another poet and writer and diplomat, James Russell Lowell. "Mishaps are like knives that either serve us or cut us as we grasp them by the blade or the handle." That's just brilliant, isn't it? And I think sometimes the industry has more power than we do. And this is something I've heard from Clint, from Alchemy 1, to vote with our dollars or euros or pesos or money. Vote with your money. So if we are not convinced of something because we have experienced it, and we have been honest, we are being honest about it, then we should put our money where our mouth is, where our experience is, and not continue to support anything or anybody that is not true, that is not of quality. Anyways, it's a lot to think about, and I'm just going to stop there and would like to thank you for watching. And as a professor, we'll leave you with some homework. Please subscribe, share with your friends and family. Click on the bell for notifications, like or dislike, and participate. You can reach me at my mail and Instagram, and I always answer. Sometimes it takes me a bit, but I always answer. So there you have it, guys. I hope you have a great week. Be safe. Think twice and be a smart person. Like those quotes, and hope you are all well. Professor EDC out.